Let's talk mediation. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the conversation series on mediation created with an aim and vision to promote awareness of mediation in the world around us and to talk about mediation and other alternative dispute resolution solutions from the perspective of a common person. We continue with a short legal disclaimer. The views expressed herein are the personal perspectives of the speakers and may or may not represent the views of the larger professional community they belong to. The conversation series aims to provide a general overview and awareness on the subject matter involved and may not be construed as a legal or professional advice in any manner whatsoever. The session is being recorded for wide circulation. Let me introduce the main speakers of today. Well, the mediation team of Suluhu making a difference in the world around them are with us as guest speakers today. We welcome Mr. Mena Migwi, founder and CEO, Suluhu Mediation Center. Mena is currently a lead mediator and trainer at Suluhu Mediation Center and a mediation institute representative for the Africa region. An experienced and accredited mediator by the Kenyan Judiciary and Mediation Institute of Australia. In addition, he is an accredited mediation trainer and has carried out training for diverse teams within East Africa and Southern Africa regions. Aside from mediation, Mana is also experienced in human resource management. Welcome, Mana. It's a pleasure to have you on board.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Peris Wambui, Ms. Peris Wambui. Peris is an experienced conflict and dispute resolutions expert with 2 levels of mediation accreditation, a court accredited mediator with a bias for family and commercial disputes practicing at the Nairobi, Makos, and Nairi High Courts. An accredited private mediator with Suluhu Mediation Center and Mediation Institute Australia. Paris also provides support education on anger management, negotiation, and other interpersonal skills with Blessed Women for Peace, an organization engaged in bridging the justice gap for women and children. Very impressive. In addition to her mediation qualification and experience, Paris is a professional trainer accredited by Mediation Institute Private Limited Australia, a role play instructor, applied learning expert with Suluhu Mediation Center, and an entrepreneur working to reduce the waste associated with conflict. She is also a certified family group conference facilitator. You welcome on board, Paris. It's a pleasure to have you here. Mr. Edwin Apacha. Edwin is currently an independent conflict resolution expert and a certified professional mediator. He is also accredited by the Kenyan Judiciary as a mediator in court annexed mediation. He is also a consultant mediation training director with Suluhu Mediation Center. Edwin holds a bachelor's degree in sociology and geography from the University of Nairobi, a postgraduate diploma in human resource management from College of Human Resource Management, a host of other certifications including being certified professional mediator as well as certification in counseling. Welcome on board, Edwin. It's a pleasure to have you all here. And
thank you, Sonal.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Welcome. I was not able to tell all your certifications, Edwin, but I have mentioned that on the Facebook page because it will take a longer time. So
not a problem.
Yeah. So Suluhu Mediation Center. So what was the genesis behind it? What was the idea that struck you, Mr. Migwi? How did you start this organization?
Thank you, Sonal. And maybe we can start with the name Suluhu, so that then it is Suluhu. It's a Swahili word.
Suluhu. Okay.
Suluhu, yes.
Yes, Suluhu. So
yes, Suluhu.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, not a problem. It's a Swahili word. It's a Swahili word which can loosely translate to mean resolution.
Okay.
It can mean resolution or simply a way of resolving issues. So Suluhu means a resolution. It's a Swahili word. And when we came up with the name for our center, we thought of coming up with the name which would resonate with our region, the people. It would be easy for them to just from the name to understand what we are doing.
Yes.
I've been mediating now for slightly above 12 years. And I started mediating in the South African region, that's in Zambia and Malawi, where I was involved in labor issues. In that region, there's the workforce is quite aware of their rights, and so there are quite a number of engagements with the employers. And I did get involved in mediating quite a number of CBAs. And even when I came back to Kenya, I continued doing the same, and ended up doing a number of mediations for our local labor organization. Mostly for COTU and their division called Communication Workers Union. And this really interested me in helping people to resolve disputes. During the same time, I would be involved in mediating family issues for the workers who are in my teams. Because I was in operations and the teams would be very large. And of course, there'd be many issues which would come up. So the relief or the joy that I would see in the eyes of the people who benefited from these mediation really, I would say, touched my heart and really interested me to do the same. Whenever people have been able to resolve their dispute, it gives me some sort of a high. And these really prompted me even to go for formal training in mediation. And I reached out to Mediation Institute of Australia, where I was trained. And then I got a very good mentor in the name of Joanne Law. Joanne Law is the director of Mediation Institute of Australia.
You know Joanne?
Yes, I know Joanne. We've worked closely with her.
She is an amazing, amazing, amazing woman. So that speaks for itself, you know.
She is an
Wonderful.
amazing woman, and she has really mentored me along this journey. And so in 2016 in Kenya, the mediation was introduced into the courts, and this was after some amendment to our constitution in 2010. When in 2010 now, the constitution responding to the cry of the citizenry, because the citizens were not happy with the long time it took for matters to go through the court. And also they didn't, they felt alienated from the system, in that in the court, they did not participate in what would go in there. Sometimes they wouldn't even not understand what's happening there. And sometimes even if they won the matter, they would not win it in the way that suited them. And as such, they wanted to be involved in resolving their own issues. And so the constitution, which was promulgated in 2010, introduced alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. And one of those systems then was mediation. So I did at the same around the same time, I got accredited to practice in court, and I happened to participate in the pilot project. Around the same time, many people wanted to get trained, but training was expensive, out of reach of the many people who wanted to train at that time. And so I reached out to my colleagues here, who are also very close friends. We've worked with them and interacted with them in different spheres of life. And we talked about the issue of helping to bring about, to bring down the cost of mediation training and make it accessible. And so we came up with the Suluhu Mediation Center. And under that, the banner of Suluhu Mediation Center, I also got to have them trained, because they also were really very interested in this mediation. And then we sat together and came up with the Suluhu Mediation Center, which also started in the 2016. So since 2016, then we've been in this mediation field, and we've made some impact here in Kenya, having taken the journey through. And so at Suluhu Mediation Center, what we started off with was a training, offering training, making it accessible and affordable to many people. Of course, over time, we've come up with other services, chief among them offering mediation services to the citizens, to organizations, to corporates, because now we have a panel of mediators spread across East Africa. On our panel, we have over 600 mediators who are spread across the country, so we are able to offer these services. And then the other thing now that we are doing is that at Suluhu Mediation Center, we motivate our mediators to leverage on technology when offering their services, so that then their services can be affordable, they can be accessible to all. And as such, because not very many people would be tech savvy, we also have a training on online mediation and meeting skills. It's a 10-hour course which we offer to those who do not have those, they're not tech savvy, they haven't done it before. So sometimes when people have not done it before, it might scare them a bit. So we empower them to also offer online dispute resolution services.
So
at the same time, yes, please.
Yeah, Meena, that was the genesis, first of all, that
Yeah.
people, first of all, you started with common people and labor issues, and then family issues, and then you realize the satisfaction that a person gets on seeing.
Yeah.
Then I also noticed that people were not getting satisfied with the court system. That's what respect and expensive court procedures, and so that really motivated you to be part of this, and then you got training. That was wonderful. The genesis, the vision also has been made clear. So let's talk to Edwin also here. Edwin, what is your idea and vision? What made you join Suluhu? I have said now.
You've gotten it right now.
Yeah. So, so what was your vision, sir, for joining Suluhu Mediation Center, and what you think of it as a prognosis for Kenya and Africa?
Okay. So my journey towards joining Suluhu Center, just like mentioned by my colleague Maina here, started when many years ago when we were in leadership positions, employed in some organization, which I will not quote for now. And so definitely at the workplace, you get to encounter workplace disputes where people are having issues. And then I'll just find myself naturally just wanting to sit down with these people to help them resolve their disputes, okay? The issue is, this is a passion that I had. doing this sort of dispute resolution, although it was not structured. But from around the 2015 thereabouts, I got to do my course. Then I became a certified professional mediator. And now thereafter, I was able to conduct, and since then I've been able to conduct mediations professionally and mediation trainings too. Okay. So that is my brief journey into Suluhu Mediation Center. We had some commonality in thought with my colleagues. So yes, just like it has been mentioned, we came up with the name Suluhu Mediation Center. And the rest, as they say, is history. Okay. Yes, and yes, Sonal.
So, like Suluhu, which resonates with resolution, which resonated with the common people, I think that could have struck the chord with people, and as your vision was, and to make it reach to common people, to make dispute resolution a common practice in your area. Now, what is the training basically that you people are giving? And uh, I would want Paris to tell us something, because she's, I think, the training, and I was reading the bio also, so training expert. And then I also read somewhere in your bio that you are doing some voluntary work for an organization in Australia. So have you resonated that and brought that to Africa also? You are on mute.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Thank you so much, Sonal, for the chance. Naturally, I'll start with Paris as a person. Paris is a patient person, likes a conflict-free environment, and I love to do voluntary work. When Suluhu was in the early stages of being formed, I was part of it because of my nature as a patient and a conflict-free person who likes to resolve conflict. In my profile, you've also noted that I'm also a business person, and in the market there's so many conflicts. So I would see everyone running to me to resolve those. So that was part of my pro bono work. So when Suluhu Mediation Center was formed, I was part of it, and training was given to Paris, and I became a trainer, a mentor, and I helped in resolving so many conflicts privately while affiliated to Suluhu Mediation Center.
That's really good. So, what is the special kind of training that you guys are giving, keeping in view the demands of people out there, that people are not aware? So, any kind of training that you are giving apart from normal mediation training, that making people aware also? Are you doing something like that?
Yes. Number one, we hold conferences free of charge. And these conferences are, we hold them with our judiciary. We had one in Nyeri that helped empowering or even helped the people around those areas to know about mediation. We sensitize, we sensitize the community free of charge about mediation and about our institute. We have different training methods at Suluhu Mediation Center. We have the online or the virtual one. It's just something like what we are having. We have people from different areas, and we meet online and we train them. The other thing we have, and I think it's only Suluhu Mediation Center that has that, is the self-paced process, or the self-paced method, sorry, where a participant gets online, and we give the client or the trainer or the trainee the access to our platform as Suluhu Mediation Center, and they can continue slowly at their own pace, learning about mediation at their own pace. So that is quite unique, because we don't have to get a full house for people to go on training. We also have physical sessions where we go to where there is a team or a group of mediators or people who are interested in training mediation. We also come into partnership with other institutions that help in sensitizing and also sponsor commoners or even people in leadership to come and train with Suluhu Mediation Center.
Yes, I must also add that after training, we also offer continuous professional development. Like for instance, every week we have mediation moot sessions. And in the moot sessions, what happens is that we get to bring mediators and like-minded individuals together. There are great discussions there on various topics of mediation and alternative dispute resolution in general. And this also offers an opportunity for new mediators to be mentored. They get to participate in role plays, and this is one. This really helps to ensure that their edges are sharpened, so to say.
This as I was talking to Paris also, Mr. McGuey, this is a very unique selling point and a very unique thing, that you don't put pressure on people like you have to get trained by this. Just 5 days of training or 40 hours of training and you are good to go. A person who just takes 40 hours of training is never good to go. Technically, we all know that. And so the after training support that you're talking about, weekly mediation mood center sessions, and the one very good point that Paris came out with, which I was very impressed with, is that people can use the resources of the mediation center to learn at their pace. That's a very very wonderful concept, and it's never mostly heard of in other areas. Wherever I have, in whichever area I have talked, even in the developing countries or the developed countries, they don't offer this kind of, because see, mediation actually is a very, it is a very humane approach. So if you are doing this, if you are doing this, that you are allowing people to learn at their own pace and then certify them when they are ready. That's a very unique concept, because generally wherever you go, people are offering, these courses, 21 day, 4 hours course, 5 hours course, and we give you this certificate and we give you that certificate. My God, if you look at that, can you just tailor make something in 4 or 5 hours? Can you just teach something in 4 or 5 hours to a human person? That's really commercialization of mediation going on in the around world. And here is an institute which is decommercializing, or actually going towards the human concept. I really I'm really impressed by that kind of a, because that is the human approach. That's
actually what you've mentioned about the commercialization of the mediation training. The other thing which, because that's a discussion we had, and for us, our vision is to have, what we want is we want to put mediators outside there who can really mediate. People who've really been trained up to acceptable standards. And like you've mentioned, if you push them within a certain short duration of time, then they may not get this, because the human mind also has its capacity. All right. And the mediation training is a very intense course. So the other thing we do that even in our virtual classes or physical classes, we normally have a strict, we normally offer personalized training. And these means then we have to have a certain ratio of the trainers to trainees. So our ratio is 1 to a maximum of 5. So 1 trainer to a maximum of 5 trainees. So that then there's close enough and a close interaction between the trainers and the trainees, because there's need to be, it's very practical. And then the other thing we do is that there's lots of practice during that training. Each trainee needs to do at least 6 role plays for them now to qualify to become a mediator. And these and they are assessed continuously. And this also brings to mind another service we offer, which an assessment service we offer even for practicing mediators. You see, mediation being a confidential process. When the mediator is conducting their mediations, they conduct them in a confidential process. There's no one who's checking what you're doing. So if you have bad practices, you keep practicing them and they keep growing. But then, so what we offer is that as a practicing mediator, you can come in, or you can book an assessment session with Suluhu. We have a tool which we use to assess. So you can come in, book a session to come in and do a role play. And then we can assess you based on what you're doing, and we can pick out those areas that you are doing well and those areas where you need to develop. Because remember, every time you're doing your mediations, nobody's checking what you're doing. Yes. You might pick bad practices just like anyone would do, including me, without knowing, and then continuously you are degenerating instead of improving. So when you assess, then you can be able to pick these out.
And I think to add on to that, it is important to mention that even us amongst ourselves, as much as we are seasoned mediators, we also have those sessions whereby, for instance, I'm practicing to be a mediator, and Maina and Paris are observing me. Areas for development, they will tell me. My areas of strength, they also tell me. In short, what I mean is nobody has the monopoly of knowledge. We all keep on just learning continuously.
Yeah. Wonderful. That is really wonderful, and that is really an approach of a person trying to better their skill and be always in constant of challenging one's own limitations and capabilities. That's really a wonderful job that you guys are doing. So, like you told about the vision, you told about the genesis. Now, when we talk about how you are making a difference to the mediator community, that is impeccable. How you have made a difference to your area, that also you mentioned a little bit that when you saw the family disputes and how you helped them, and then it made an impact on your life also. That was the genesis. How Suluhu.
Suluhu, that's right.
All right, it's okay. It's all right.
Suluhu has made an impact in the lives of people of Kenya and around. How have you seen the change it has brought about in your area? What is your opinion on?
Well, the changes that it has brought is that we brought professionalism into these practice. We've been getting very good feedback from recipients of the services from our members, even from the courts. Our mediators have been doing very well. And I think it's because we've also really embedded a culture of continuous professional development. So our mediators are always looking for ways to develop. We encourage them to also embrace technology, get onto social media, like for instance, Twitter and others, follow organizations and individuals in this field, so that then they're able to keep abreast of what's happening out there. In the same line, we are also members of Mediators Beyond Boundaries International. This also helps us to keep abreast of what's happening at the international level, new developments in the field, so that then we can also ensure that our members, our mediators, are also moving with the times. And mentioning members, we also run a membership service. And this membership service is not only for those mediators that we've trained, even others who are interested. We have people who've been trained elsewhere, and they've joined our community, our membership, so that then they benefit from even the weekly moots that we do. They benefit from our continuous professional development programs. We also encourage them to collaborate, because in the membership, in the group, people, like-minded people, are able to team up. Like, for instance, we have within our group, there's some ladies who have started a women's mediators group.
Okay.
To common interests. We have a Christian mediators group with common interests, and also others coming up. So these membership, they also get to meet other like-minded individuals, and they're able to move together. So we also invite members from across the world, no matter where they've been trained, with the common interest of offering great service which speaks to the needs of their clients.
Wonderful. So that
Yeah.
also makes, because that gives a community feeling, that gives a belongingness feeling. So that
Yeah.
makes a lot of difference. And
Yeah.
to the even the mediator community, or to the people around, because that gives a feeling of belongingness, that these are my people, they are going to take care of my disputes. So that sorry.
There is also something which is mentioned regarding sensitization, and it's something, Edwin, you haven't mentioned and you're very passionate about, and this is outsourced ombuds services, because we're also encouraging corporates, organizations to resolve their disputes within their organizations, to bring about a conflict competent culture within the organizations, so that then we offer out, so we are encouraging them and selling, or rather offering outsourced services, so that then this is a function which can be carried out by our members, who will be neutral, who will have no interest in whatever is happening in those organizations, so that then we can help them to collect these any complaints that may be within the organizations in a confidential manner. With them, we can investigate and recommend changes that they can make within the organizations. And this is something that Edwin, you're normally very passionate about. I don't know why today.
Yes,
not
and I know where my mind was when you are talking about the impact that Suluhu is having on the community. I think my mind was on pro bono, the pro bono mediations that we do offer. And you see, we have a wide network of mediators across the country. And these are mediators that we encourage to actually be able to take up pro bono cases. People who are not able to afford the access, let them do that service to the community. So in our own way, in the various jurisdictions across all the 47 counties in Kenya, we're also making an impact in the society at the ground level, at the grassroots level, by having our mediators conducting free mediations to people who need that service. Yes, Maina, that is the point that made me not talk about ombudsman, because that pro bono is what was in my mind.
Yes, that's outsourcing is. Yes, Paris, you were saying something.
Just maybe to add on the impact on the community, we have our mediators opening up offices to the community. So instead of when people have a conflict, instead of running to the courts, they go directly to the mediators on the ground. And we have like, I think, 8 mediators who are doing that, and they're doing it round the clock. That is their main job. And that gives Suluhu Mediation a very, very good satisfaction, because we can see mediation is somehow, Suluhu Mediation Center is somehow impacting onto the community. It's not just about money, just as Edwin has said.
That is very wonderful thing, that you are providing a round the clock service to the community, so that people now trust mediation more than litigation. So that is an impact that a wonderful team together can make. That is a because that one person cannot do that, but when you come out as a team, that's the unique selling point of a mediation center, that they have made and created that impact in the minds of people, that yes, this is the first step to go towards, before, if there are disputes, this is the first step to go, instead of going towards the court. So that's a huge impact. And whatever said, yes.
So now I remember recently we had a conversation on this forum with you and Steve.
Yes.
Where we were talking about
restorative.
Yeah, restorative justice, and maybe loosely along the same lines, we've been visiting prisons, especially remand centers. You see, remand are people who are already in prison, but they are yet, the matters are yet to be determined, so that then either they are jailed or they are fined or whatever. So we've been visiting them and encouraging them to negotiate with the people that they have wronged, so that then they can find ways of resolving those issues. Because we basically what we encourage them, why do you have to wait for judgment? Why can't you reach out to the people you've wronged, and you can look for ways of resolving these? So of course we at that time we are talking about mediation, but then when it comes now to resolving these, then it might go along the lines of restorative justice.
Yes.
So this is something which we do, and we are also looking at having a wider program with the prison department in Kenya, so that then these services, we can reach out to more remand centers, so that then people don't have to wait for the judgment day. They can have met with the people that they have offended, and resolve these issues early. It's also one way for us to help unclog the courts, because the courts are clogged. If currently, if you have a matter, you might wait even for up to 3 years for it to be heard and determined. So this doesn't help. It doesn't help in any way. We believe that if these people resolve the issues, they can go back to the societies and make an impact, and bring about development, instead of cooling their heats, waiting for the judgment day.
That's also a way you are giving them to make amends for maybe what they have done. Somewhere deep inside our heart, every person knows if they have done wrong. And there you give them a chance, because the judgment is just going to pronounce something. Whether you agree to the judgment or not, you have to accept it. So here you are giving them a chance to make amends, to clean their heart out, to reach out to people whom they have done wrong. So that's definitely restorative justice. That's definitely restorative practice that you are doing, and that's a noble thing to do, and noble practice to imbibe in people also, because slowly people will realize, because getting a judgment is just like getting a punishment. Getting a punishment will not make you, and in some senses might make you more bitter.
Yeah, sure.
About it. But when you're giving them a chance to make amends, so that's a inside the heart somewhere will come that yes, I did wrong, and now that I have, maybe somewhere deep down you get satisfied that you've done a good work. That really makes a lot of difference. So
Thank you.
anything else that you would like to tell the community, what the good work you are doing and what you want, your vision? Of course, you have already told, but anything else that you want to emphasize on as a team?
Maybe
To be very honest,
let
okay.
me go
Ladies,
first.
Yes,
Thank you.
ladies
Thank
first,
you.
any day.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. We also have other services that we offer at Suluhu Mediation Center. We mentor upcoming mediators. All right. We have round the clock help to all practicing mediators. Anytime you feel like you need help, anytime like you feel like you need to be debrief, you're very much welcome at Suluhu Mediation Center. Thank you. Edwin, you can come. You can come in.
Yes.
Okay. Basically, we'd like to get to a point whereby, okay, number one, as Suluhu Mediation Center, we'd like to get to a point by where we are the one-stop, the place to go to when people have a dispute. You see, currently, the culture is when parties are in a dispute, they say, let's meet in court. But we'd like to change that narrative. And actually, we need not to call mediation an alternative dispute resolution mechanism. It actually needs to be the mainstream way of resolving disputes. And I hope one day we'll get to that point whereby it will be the mainstream way of resolving disputes as opposed to litigation and maybe the other forms of dispute resolution. And towards that end, of course, within our vision, we are looking at also providing other trainings in alternative dispute resolution. We are looking at providing training in peace and conflict studies. And of course, offering consultancy in all these areas apart from where we are now, which is offering mediation services and offering mediation training. So we'll get to a point whereby we'll also be offering these other consultancies and services. Peace conflict resolution, and alternative dispute resolution. Thank you.
That's really wonderful because that sums up what a mediation center actually has. First, the genesis, the vision, and what a mediation center actually has to achieve. A change of the narrative that you, Edwin, clearly pointed out, that the change of narrative from being as an alternative to a mainstream dispute resolution practice. That really sums up. So that actually says everything. So any closing comments by Mr. Wigby? Mr. McVie, any closing comments?
For me, I really want to thank you, Sonan, for the work that you are doing. You are really developing and supporting mediation across the world. When you invite us here to talk about mediation, it's some good work you're doing. And for us at Suluhu, like you have just experience, we are also echoing what you're doing in our region and also on the international stage. And thank you so much for having.
And let me, yes, please. Let me also say one thing, that when I met you people, and when the coordination that you have and the team work that you depict, I really best wishes to all of you because your venture is humane and you have a brilliant team together and you guys are doing a wonderful job. So my all the best and wishes to Suluhu Mediation.
Suluhu.
I got it.
You got it now. You got it now.
Yes, I got it correct. and may it shine to make a wonderful impact on the society.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sonal, and looking forward to having more such forums with you.
Wonderful. It will be a pleasure. It will be a pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you.